Is Wild Rift dying in North America? I know most of us have a love-hate relationship with Wild Rift, but I highly doubt we want to see one of our favorite games outright cease to exist, right? So I bring you this video today to answer the question, or at least bring up the topic, if Wild Rift is doomed in NA, or do we have a foreseeable future ahead of us? So when talking about whether or not a game is dying, you have to look at certain different type of things. Number one, player base. I feel like it goes without saying, but if a game's player base is on a decline, then your game is most likely not in a good spot. However, there will always be anomalies that break the mold, such as Among Us, for example. Remember when basically nobody played that game? Well, even if it's not at its peak anymore, we can surely say it was brought back from the grave. Moving on to number two, we want to see how often it's searched on Google. How much do people really look for information about the game and possibly want to invest in it? And finally, I'll be looking at socials. When I say socials, I mean things like Twitch, YouTube. How much do people really want to see Wild Rift being played? There are many reasons why Wild Rift may or may not be suffering in growth. When it comes to a MOBA, things like meta, balancing, creativity, simply put, is your game fun to play, but also fair to an extent? Personally, I believe Wild Rift is one of the most, if not the most, balanced MOBAs we have right now on the mobile market. However, there are some concerns regarding the meta as of Season 4 to 5 being regarded as the bruiser meta, ADCs unplayable, having mages basically steal their role. Another aspect that I believe has affected Wild Rift to a certain extent is the new Season 5 ranking system. Never in the history of Wild Rift has it been easier to get Master and Grandmaster, with them changing the LP gains to the point where you can lose more than you can win and become what is considered high elo in the game. Keep in mind, these are just some of the things that I think would affect the game. Okay, so I did a lot of research to find information on the player base of Wild Rift. And honestly, it was more difficult than I thought it would be, but from the stats being shown on screen, you can see that Wild Rift was actually on a decline moving into 2021. Losing about 100,000 of its players monthly. Unfortunately, I don't have the stats falling to 2022, but regardless of that, I think it would show the same trend or maybe stabilize to an extent. However, please keep in mind that this is a very limited amount of data, and I doubt it shows the whole story. Moving on to how interested people are in learning about Wild Rift, i.e., how often do they search for Wild Rift related content on Google? Judging by the stats, which I have for both Canada and the US, honestly, it's just okay. Canada is actually on a decline as opposed to the US that seems to be headed upwards. Obviously, there are reasons for the peaks in the searches. Maybe there was a certain promo at the time or a big tourney going on, but when it comes to how often people really look for Wild Rift, it's just okay in that standpoint. However, if all is looking bleak, look no further than Twitch, which has been on the climb since October of last year and is actually at its peak viewers as of right now. Sure, a lot of it is due to esports, but even esports for Wild Rift is gaining a lot of viewership, which I couldn't be more happy about. In fact, last I checked, they had upwards of 16,000 viewers watching Icon's finals, which is crazy. So if you were to ask my honest opinion on if I think Wild Rift is dying, I'd have to tell you no. I don't think Wild Rift is dying. I think Wild Rift will continue to grow as they add more characters, as they balance their already current characters, and really keep the interest that they have in their game right now. The developers really do care about their game and do take time when they release new content and new events to our game, and we should be grateful for that. But please leave your opinion down below in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I'm recording this on my birthday, so happy birthday to me, and I hope you all guys have a wonderful day. See you.